Yay, we are back grade 4 for some more math. Awesome. So today's math is called addition and subtraction word problems. Yes. So remember that in word problems, we need to decide which piece of data is unknown because that's what we want to solve for. So with long problems like this, it's way better if we make it into short form because this is so much words, it's hard to figure out. So when you've got a question like this, it's convenient to write it out in a short form. So I'm going to read this out and then I'm going to put it in a short form. So Karen spends 25 minutes doing her math homework. She spends 15 minutes more on her science project than on her math homework. How much time did Karen spend on her science project? Well, that's a lot of words. So I could write this in a short form. I could say 25 minutes math. I could write 15, I can even make that shorter, minutes more on science. And then my X would be how much time did Karen spend on her science project? X is minutes science. So now I've got it into a very easy way to figure out that this is so wordy that this is much shorter, and this is what we've been working with so far. We've been down to this point, so this will be not hard for us to figure out. So would this be easier or this easier? I think that you say this is easier. Why did I put an X there? Because that is the question we need to know. How much time did Karen spend on science? That is our X, the amount of time she spent on science. So we could figure this out. We could say, well, we need to get it so that the X is over there by itself. So we know that she spent 25 minutes on math. She spent 15 more minutes on science. So we know that the science number is the big number, and we need to figure out the big number. So in order to figure this out, we need to add the math time plus the 15 minutes more, which would tell us how much she spent on science. And that would be 40 minutes. So if I was to write this in a sentence, I would say, Karen spent 40 minutes on science. Awesome. Now I've got a whole bunch more of these problems. They are quite wordy here, and what I'm going to ask you to do is shorten them to the minimum amount of words and see if you can solve the problem. So I'm going to ask you to pause and figure them out and then come back. Pause. Okay, we're back. So if I'm going to put this into the smallest amount of words, shortest form, I have 25 marbles, 7 green marbles, and I don't know how many are not green. So there I've put my information in short form. I hope that you had the same thing figured out when you did it on your own. So now I know that there is a total of 25. So that is my large number, my total. So I have my total. In order to figure out how many green ones, I'm going to have to subtract, how many not green ones, I have to subtract my green one from it. And I'm just going to make my little math problem. So there are 18 marbles that are not green. 18 marbles that are not green. I hope that you could see how I figured that out. Okay, then this one. So I'm going to write this in short form. 7 rats, 9 hamsters. And the question is how many rats and hamsters all together in the store? So what I need to know is the total. I'm not sure what the total is. And when I want to figure out the total, if I remember back to my little chart that we had, so total was part 1 plus part 2. So my x would be 9 plus 7. So my x would be, there are 16 rats and hamsters all together in the store. I hope you got that one too. Here's the last one. There are 25 cars in a parking lot. There are 7 fewer vans than cars in the lot. How many vans are in the lot? So I got 25 cars. I got 7 fewer vans, and I want to know how many vans there are. That's my question, X vans. So I have my total. There are 25 vehicles altogether. There are 7 fewer vans. So I'm going to take away that 7, and that leaves me with, the same problem as up there, 18. 18 vans are in that parking lot. I hope you were able to find the same answer as I got, which is fantastic. There is one more that I'd like you to try on your own, so pause this one and see if you can figure out what this one is. Sorry about that, my phone is receiving an email. Okay, pause. Okay, we're back. So to make this short, we have 7 kilometers before. We have 10 kilometers after. And we need to know the total. So we're looking for the total. So X is the total. So how much did she go all together? So in order to figure out total, we have to add 10 plus 7 kilometers before and after. So X equals 17 kilometers. Yes, I hope you got those all right. That was awesome. Okay. So now I have a picture here. I have 7 blocks and 3 blocks. So what 2 things can you can find with these 2 given numbers? What 2 things could you find? I hear you say you could find the difference, and you could also find the total, right? So in order to find the difference, we need to take the total minus part 1, and that will give us the difference. So the difference is 3. To figure out the total, you want to know how big it is, you're going to have to add those together. So that would tell you the total. You altogether have 10 blocks. Awesome. Here it says we have our larger number is 8. We don't know what our smaller number is, but our total is 13. So to figure this out, we know our total, so we know our big number. Oops. And we don't know what X is, so X is what we're missing. So we know one of the numbers, we know the total, we don't know another number. So we are going to subtract to get a smaller number. So X equals 5. And then for this last one, we have our larger number is X, our smaller number is 10, and our difference is 4. So, this tells me I'm going to have a subtraction problem. So I don't know what my maybe I won't have a subtraction problem. We don't know what the larger number is. So when we don't know what the larger number is, we're going to have to add our smaller number and our difference. Remember our chart that we had from yesterday? Large part is small part and difference. So we have our large part is the one on the top. What we need to find out, in order to figure that out, we have to add those 2 together. So our small part, no! I am doing this all wrong. I am not doing very well at this at all. Yeah, that's right. Our larger number, my goodness, I'm having a really bad time here. Our larger number is 14. Okay, good. I think I got that. Very confusing. Okay, so we have one more activity to do before I show you your math, and I'm going to pause this and going to start part 2. So get ready for part 2.